saying to me?
I'm like, what do you mean I like wake up and have to text you like good morning? Like
Clingy tendencies. Check. Needing approval from others. Yeah. This is really eye-opening, guys. I'm the embodiment of this attachment style. Talk about
like
this,
that?
guys. My last relationship.
if I'm crazy, you're crazy.
On the way here, always
that's the intro.
on the way here, always like I can't expose myself as I did at the den.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I know that I'm. What? No.
Put that in here. Don't put that in here.
Wait, pull up
Dude,
the
I
quiz.
redid my rice purity test.
What is it now? You're lower than me now, brother. Damn.
Yo, this is recording by the way.
All the you're
That's not in the
You're so
calendar.
sus. You're so sus.
Wait.
Yo, I'm letting a
Attention
virgin
span.
tech bro type of boy.
What are you saying to me?
Wait, what's yours?
I can't.
Yo, this is so exposed.
This is on camera. This is on record.
You have to cut some.
I've done the legal.
Yeah,
I've done.
this is his first podcast with you.
Yeah.
I've done
Do it again.
Yeah, just.
No, we have to stick with the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I'm just.
No, don't
I'm
change,
just
don't
looking
change.
at the questions
Do
again.
it. Oh shoot.
Oh shit, don't do it again.
Well, I know I'm gonna be anxious no matter what. I'm like extreme.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You're extreme?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
extreme.
I'll put...
Fuck, these are all purple. I was looking
Which
for.
which website should I
I
be
used the
putting on?
first one.
Oh, are you doing it again?
Oh no, you guys can. You just start.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
She don't want her fearful of work.
Okay, I'm kinda... Okay, let me pull up the notes app. Okay, so... Okay, just as an intro, okay, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, hello guys, welcome to another video. So today I have, a few new faces. So to my right I have,
Helen.
and then here I have,
Alden.
Nick.
okay, so this guys, this is Alden's first podcast, so I'm very excited. He is too, as you can tell. And Nick has not been here in a good minute, so we're back together. Sadly, Ashik wasn't here. He would have helped my case, because we're talking about attachment styles.
This is good.
But-
It's balanced.
Yeah, it's balanced right now. Okay, so there's 4 different attachment styles. We'll get into it. But literally why I assembled this group is because we're all like in 4 different ones. So it's really like the Avengers of attachment styles. But yeah, so getting right into it. So in the beginning, so how this topic even came from was like, I remember I was watching an episode of Suburb Talks, which is an episode like the podcast we all really listen to, and then there was an episode on attachment styles, and then I remember I posted it on my story, and then you responded to it as well.
Yeah, because
like,
I watched that episode.
Yeah, because you watched that episode, and I got I got dismissive, and then you got secure, and then from that we just told all our friends, and people here from like all different places, and then we told a lot of our civil friends to do it, so we were doing it in the lecture yesterday, and yeah, so kind of getting right through it. What is it? Yeah, so a debrief into it. So what are attachment styles and how do they affect our relationships? So according to psychiatrist and psychoanalyst John Bowlby, one's bond with their primary caregivers during childhood has an overarching influence on their future social and intimate relationships, and even their relationships at work. In other words, this early bond creates a template or rules for how you build and interpret relationships as an adult. So there's 4 attachment styles, essentially. So there is the anxious preoccupied, which is our friend here, Alden. Then there is avoidant dismissive, which is me, and then also Ashik. And then disorganized and fearful avoidant.
I mean, okay, wait. Let me see.
Don't change it.
After the whole intro, you just switch up.
You just switch
I
up.
feel like I always line with anxious like an anxious type more.
Really?
So yeah, I am a very anxious.
Well, you
Like,
seem kind of fearful, avoidant of this right now. Avoid this shit.
Of certain things in life.
okay, fearful, avoidant, or anxious. But I know I'm not secure. I know I'm not dismissive. So it's between the two. It's between the two.
I heard that disorganized, fearful, avoidant is like in the middle of us, like anxious and dismissive.
Yeah.
It's like
but I
when you
feel
look
like
at
I'm
the
more
chart.
like anxious.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. You know what? Did you get the test back result?
Okay. If I submit. Okay. You
Oh,
know what?
okay.
Anyways, yeah.
And then we have a secure person in this group, which is Nick over here, down.
Whatever.
Side eye, imagine being secure.
Side eye.
Side eye. So getting into it, are you guys both doing the test right now? Like,
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to confirm.
Alden, I think you know you're anxious.
I think you saying that, like, you know, I know I'm anxious anyways.
I think he wants reassurance.
Is that a part of the anxious attachment style?
Yep. So I guess the most stable one is secure, so we can start off with that one. So it just goes from like uphill to downhill. Like it's only gonna get worse from here. So we're gonna.
I kind of want to be the last one.
No.
I'm the last one.
No,
I don't know.
I think fearful is worse. No?
You know what? It's whatever pops up in the website. So we're using the website Psych Central, and so for so just also a bit on the debrief. It says that not debrief preview. It says if a child can consistently rely on their parents to fulfill their needs growing up, they're likely to develop a secure attachment style. They'll see relationships as a safe place where they can express their emotions freely. On the other hand, insecure attachment styles develop if a child has had a strained bond with their caregivers. This happens when the child learns they may not be able to rely on others to fulfill their basic needs and comfort. So getting into it, so regardless of your primary relationships, you can change attachment styles. So it's also very dependent on the stage of life you're in right now. So if you're like, in certain relationships, which are toxic, that can sometimes, lead to different attachment styles. So that's why, they're not a set in place thing, and it's very relative to the place you're in life right now. So getting to the first one, you can kind of talk about it.
I think the first statement that said, like, if a child can consistently rely on their parents growing up, that they'll develop a secure attachment style is practically why I have a secure attachment style. Like, I think I'm very fortunate to grow up in a very healthy household where I could, rely on them. So I think all four of these is based on the environment like we all grew up in. But yeah, I think this alone is why I have it, but I don't know what else do they have here.
Also, did yours?
Never. It didn't even work.
Oh,
it's fine. It's fine.
Oh no, her thing didn't work. Her test.
Why not?
Okay, so yeah, so what is a secure attachment style?
Well, okay, I was telling Alden the other day you weren't here, but I think I have a secure attachment style when that relationship is formed. And when I say relationship, like not like romantic, like it could be anything, like friendship, romantic relationship, whatever. Like, because you gonna expose that shit. No, I was gonna say, but like when I'm in a relationship, I'm secure. Like I feel secure. Like I can trust this other person, and I hope they can trust me. But yeah, that's just what it is.
But when you're not.
But when I'm not, that's a different story because I'm not, attached with them yet. So it's like it don't matter.
I see what you mean.
Because you know how I am.
Yeah,
right?
I understand.
Yeah.
So like once you're in it, you definitely see yourself as a secure attachment style.
Yeah, like once I'm in, like even with like friendships and stuff too. Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah. Okay.
But getting
so once it's established, it's like good. Yeah. But yeah, getting there is
it's
different story. It's a different story,
But you're growing.
That's
Everyone's
It's
changing.
a different video.
But when does it go from? Is the transition from being like established? Is it like a click in your head? You're like, okay, I've talked to this person long enough. Okay, we're boyfriend girlfriend now. Like or like like what does it mean by once it's established? Is it in your head or is it like a mutual establishment? Like, do you need the other person to be like contributing in a certain way to make you feel like okay?
Oh no, that's just like in my head. Like like I wouldn't like I could feel secure in this other person could not give a fuck. Like I know, it's whatever, right? But it's like what you said. It's like I guess it's like not like a click. It's just like it just happens. Like I just trust other people easily. I feel like, and it just happens. Like I don't know.
Do you feel like that jump also comes in when like communication happens? So like for a fact that like they can tell you that like they feel this way, and you're like okay, now you're in a secure style. Yeah.
Again, with like any friendship.
Do you ever need reassurance from people?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You ever need like...
my love language is words of affirmation, So
really?
Like,
That's crazy. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, no way.
Wow,
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you, Nick. Nick starts crying. Oh, no way. Okay, that's good. So signs you can kind of talk about.
Signs.
Yeah, you talked about easily trusting others. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
a sign,
easily
yeah.
trusting others.
You can, yeah.
Comfortable being alone. I think.
You are, yeah. Very much so.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
That is recording, right? The time.
Yeah, I think so.
Like you see, like on the left bottom, you see a time.
Yeah,
going,
it says REC. Yeah.
Yeah,
and there's
yeah.
a time. Okay,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
checking. I'm blind. Okay, so do you feel like there are other of these signs that you relate to a lot?
High self-esteem.
Ability to regulate my emotions. I feel like I'm not really emotionally driven by anything. I guess in the moment I would be, but then afterwards, I think I told you a bit, but like after a bit, I just reason it out with like logic approach. Comfortable in close relationships, yeah. I guess kind of what I just said. Once it's like established, and once I get to know someone longer, it's
This
like I
all
trust
seems
them.
like you.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
This all
very
seems
much
like
you.
Being easy to connect with. I feel like that is me, no?
You talk to people.
Yeah, but once you do talk to me,
Yeah.
once you do talk to me,
What you do?
this
You
conflicts,
have to.
that conflicts with my introvertness.
Like,
but once you get to know me, I'm easy to connect with. I feel
And
like.
it's like someone would have to come to you, not you go to them.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're like just there, and
Yeah.
people come in, like you're very accepting. I
I'm an
guess.
ISTJ, guys. 97% introvertedness. So
Great.
97.
Where'd
97
you
is
get that
insane.
from? Dimensional?
Yeah, dimension.
yeah,
Oh, I need to pull that shit.
Yeah.
but yeah, I think these all relatively fit me.
So here it talks about how it manifests into relationship. So here's a little blurb if you want to talk.
Securely attached people grow up feeling secure emotionally and physically and can engage in the world with others in a healthy way.
Ooh.
Do you get jealous?
I was,
Jealousy is often not an issue to them.
they trust their partner's intentions and jealousies off. No, like
Have you
I-
ever felt jealous?
I've never.
when like in the talking stage I would be, but like once I'm like we've been established like boyfriend girlfriend, no.
Boyfriend, girlfriend. That's crazy.
Did you do your test, by the way, Alden?
Oh, don't worry, it's confirmed.
It's confirmed.
That's so funny.
Yeah, no.
Oh, you pulled that shit up.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm just
I think like with that, like it kind of talks about what I'm reading here is like, you know, your trust in your partner.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you. Mhm.
Like if they were to go out with like a friend that's a guy like alone, I honestly don't bat another eye. Like, whatever, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I
Must
trust
be
them.
nice.
You actually get like really anxious about that.
Yeah, no, I mean that depends.
Does it? Yes.
It's depending. Like, do you guys want to get into the mind of an overthinker?
Soon we'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there. I'm actually, yeah. I'm just trying to see if any other websites have more stuff about it.
I feel like mine's the most boring one.
No.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's the most stable one.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
whatever.
complain. Still.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. So it says like, you know, as children and as adults. Do you want to talk about it or?
Wait,
like,
is it secure?
Yeah, this is for secure. Wait
I-
here.
wait.
Yeah, secure attachment characteristics.
Separate from parents? Wait, what?
Like you have kind of like
Oh, separates from parents. I don't even understand that first bullet point.
separates from parent.
Okay, but I do see comfort to my parents when it's like an extreme.
I see.
Extreme stuff happens. Like it happens like once or twice in my life, and then yeah, I mean these
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
are all just like being nice to your parents. But, as adults, have trusting and lasting relationships. The first word, trusting, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Tends to have good self-esteem. I think that one's like. I feel like that one shouldn't really be, because like everyone has insecurities, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like my insecurities are more like personal, so I don't really know how that. Like I don't project them, but it's just like I don't know how my own insecurities relate to attachment styles.
Well, it's like if you're insecure about something, then like, you know, then you're like, oh, what if my partner, like, you know, then you overthink.
Okay,
The
no, I
mind's
don't.
of an overthinker.
Okay, no,
Mind of an overthinker.
no, yeah. Like I have my own insecurities, but like I don't, when I'm in a relationship, I don't think like that. Like
Yeah.
oh,
You don't
will
think,
my girlfriend
oh, what,
think
that I'm a.
what? The?
That was an attack.
You have to put that in. You have to put that in. You have to put that in.
That was
That's
an
so
attack.
funny. I was like,
In a loving way, guys.
this is too extreme. I remember seeing this ratio. I was just looking at it today about like how much percent of the people are what each attachment style is. Hold on.
Like in the
Like
world.
the population.
Yeah, population or the general. You know, obviously it's not accurate, but where is it, dude? I have too many purple links. I was
Word.
like looking at it. Wait, that's why I wrote. What is not to say attachment style?
Is like secure the most prominent in
Yeah, it's like
General
almost
population.
62% or
Damn.
something.
That's good for the general public.
That's crazy.
Well,
Okay.
we're
That's higher than I thought.
It says for like this website that I'm looking off is it says signs of people. For the percentages, it says for secure 62%.
That's actually more than I thought.
Me
Yeah,
too.
it's
Like,
I was
way more than
the
I
world
thought.
is not as I thought. I guess.
Dude, like I've been living in my own world this whole time, or what? Like,
Yeah, this is from a website, so don't know how accurate, but that's a high percentage.
yeah, no, that's a lot.
Yeah.
What happens when you sense like coldness from like a partner? You just chilling with it?
Well, I told you. I told you my opinions on
Yo,
those.
can you break this down for us though? Like right now on
Like,
the podcast.
would you feel something at first, and then logically, and then like like would you feel things?
if I was being treated coldly.
Yeah,
like,
like if not like all of a sudden, if like someone is more like cold
Yeah.
towards you, then you notice it, then you just
yeah. Well, like
automatically-
in the moment, like I kind of said, like I would feel like emotional, but then I wouldn't really act on my emotions and more to like let it settle down, and then I would logically or rationally try to think about why this person's being cold to me.
But
If I-
thinking about the why, does that never send you into spirals? Like,
No.
oh, like what if it's because of this? What?
It's probably because I did something wrong, and then I would think, what did I do? What did I do wrong?
No, I know me and Alden are the same. Every time I ask these questions,
I know what you're trying to ask.
I know
Like,
exactly.
That's so. I'm sorry.
Half of this time I'm just looking out.
Side eye. This is too funny. Okay, so I guess that kind of. Is there anything else you kind of want to add on? Anything you remember from secure attachment before we move on to the next one on Psych Central?
No, unless you guys have
Okay.
any questions for me, but I think it's, like I said,
Yeah.
pretty boring. Like,
No, I think the reason why the percentage is so high, because I think about it, I'm like, okay, like a lot of people are like in long-term relationships, like adults growing up, you know, so
Yeah.
they're definitely going to be in that.
I think, like, you know how I said you, in the environment you grew up in, like the parents kind of biases your attachment style. Obviously, when you get into like relationships and more friendships, that's gonna steer your attachment styles to whatever, depending how they treat you.
Yeah.
But I think why is there's a high population that's secure is that eventually you'll be secure, and I feel like once you hit that spot, you can't really go back unless someone really like their head. But like,
Yeah.
I think that's the reason.
That's true, cause like, I think like growing up, like, my friend group was like really judgy, really like
Yeah.
you always had to think about what you were doing, what you were saying, type of shit, and you feel like you were always being judged. So I feel like that contributed to my
Exactly.
anxious behaviors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I do think everyone would get here.
Yeah.
And it's not just like you're here, you're done. Obviously, it's like a spectrum of things.
fluctuate.
Yeah.
You're like, you're not. I'm not 100% secure.
Yeah.
Copium.
Yeah, what if you
Copium one day.
One day we'll get
One
there.
day.
Copium.
And also, I think it depends on like your experiences too. Like
Yeah.
so far with your relationship experiences, you felt that way, but
Yeah.
you meet someone else, it might be different.
Like,
you know?
like I said, yeah.
Yeah.
They could like, they could like, and, yeah,
Yeah.
and like steer your way of thinking.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
like but like fundamentally,
Yeah.
we are who we are.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. Okay. Anyway, so that's secure attachment style. So one out of the four we're done. The next one is avoidant. So that is me. Avoidant/dismissive. Okay, so avoidant, dismissive avoidant, or anxious avoidant are all words for the same insecure attachment style. Huh? Wait, why? I'm just avoidant. It is defined by, what is this saying? It's defined by failures to build long-term relationships with others due to an inability to engage in physical and emotional intimacy. So how it develops, it says in childhood, you may have had strict or emotionally distant and absent caregivers. So your caregivers may have left you to fend for yourself, expected you to be independent, repressed reprimanded you for demanding on them, rejected you when expressing your needs or emotions, been slow to respond to your basic needs. So some avoidant and producing parents are outright neglectful, but others are simply busy, slightly disheartened or disinterested, and more concerned with things like grades, chores, or manners like feelings, hopes, dreams, or fears. As a result, Peoples says that children may learn to adopt a strong sense of independence, so they don't have to rely on anyone else for care or support. Ashik's not here right now, so I don't really have anyone to back it up with.
Well, nobody has anyone else around
I
here.
know. What is it? Yeah, I remember when it was like on the group chat, and then I was like, what is Ashik's? Because I feel like we have the exact same. And we actually ended up having the exact same. So that's very interesting. Because yeah, it'd be cool to have him so we can like bounce off ideas and stuff off each other. So for signs, it says you may have anxious avoidant attachment style if you are persistently avoid emotional or physical intimacy, feel a strong sense of independence, are uncomfortable expressing your feelings, are dismissive of others, have a hard time trusting people, feel threatened by anyone who tries to get close to you, spend more time alone than interacting with others, and believe you don't need others in your life. And then the last point is quote unquote commitment issues.
You think that's you?
I think so, yeah. I think that like this, when it comes to romantic relationships, I think this is very accurate. I definitely see myself a lot in this, and I think my friends would agree as well. Like yesterday, I was in the the civil room with my civil friends, and then Leanne was just like, "You have secret."
Cap. You took the wrong quiz.
No, bro, I think, okay, to be fair, when I took that quiz the first time, Fearful Avoidant,
Yeah.
I was on call with you crying, so I feel like that's not that's not a good mental state to be doing this test. I don't think that's a good mental state.
Yeah. But you're secure.
I mean,
No, you're not. Anyways.
Anyway.
But yeah, I was like, when I was in the civil room, Leanne was like we were just like talking about relationships and all my friends and stuff, and then Leanne was like, Farah, the type of girl to be like, I like you, get as far as possible as you can right now. So I tend to do that. It's like it talks
Pushing
about like
people away.
keeping like intimate people at like an arm's distance, because yeah, I think I tend to do that, like especially when it comes to romantic relationships. I think I'm just so hyper independent that like I sometimes I'm afraid to like let people in that certain thing. I think also it's just like how I approach relationships, like romantic ones. I think I like, it's very like sacred to me, like, you know, how I approach it. So it's something like if someone were to get in, like it'd be like someone I know that I'm like compatible with and this and that. Like I feel like I just can't jump into stuff and I can't go with it like that. I need to like be really sure that this is like a person that I feel comfortable with and that I can allow in this space. Because I think that like, I don't know, it's really weird when I get like really emotionally like intimate with someone. I get kind of scared. Like yesterday when I was texting you, I was just like, I can see this relationship kind of getting like, how did I explain it? I forgot.
like you feel like you're at the beginning of building a connection with someone.
Yeah.
And then you get scared because you're like at the very beginning, and then you're like, okay, well, what can it transpire into if I feel like, you know, this initial connection?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. No, literally, I was like, I can see this like becoming a strong connection, and I'm kind of really scared right now. So like, I don't know if I want to jump into this or like not even jump in. I'm like, if I want to even entertain this idea, because that's like, I don't know, for me, I feel very like overwhelmed when that happens, because you know, there's like friendships and other relationships, but sometimes I feel like even with friendships, when they get like very like intimate, I also get kind of scared. I don't like say it, I don't express it, but I do get kind of like having a reliance on someone else. Like the concept is so crazy to me. Like I was like talking about this with some of my friends. I'm like, I'm my own person, and this random guy is literally this like random guy that like, you know, has lived their own life, and all of a sudden I'm like thinking about how he's feeling, and like I'm like, my mood is all of a sudden like shifting slowly because his mood is like, you know, whatever, this and that. Like I think that's such a crazy concept. So I don't know if I'm ready to kind of get into that. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions?
I didn't know you had something like you're in something like that, because you guys were talking about it. I was like,
Scared of being scared to connect, where I'm like, yo, if I feel connected to someone, I'm like, that's unique, that's cool, that's interesting, like, oh, you know, go have fun with it. But then you're like, you know, you get scared of that idea.
Yeah, I get
I
scared.
don't even have these thoughts in my head.
No wrinkles.
There's no smooth brain.
you think the statement of like because I don't know why, I just think like growing
Yeah.
up with your parents, it's like some avoidant producing parents, like the statement, I
Yeah.
think is like somewhat true, because I feel like the statement applies to a lot of first generation like
Yeah,
immigrant
immigrant,
parents.
yeah.
And focus with
I
grades,
think
chores,
so.
or manners. Yeah.
I think so too. I think that like I feel like I had to, yeah, like being like the first daughter of an immigrant household, and like, you know, I'm an immigrant myself. I immigrated here when I was like 3, so it's like I'm not even like, is it second gen when you're like born here, or is that
No,
first
it's
gen?
first generation.
First gen when you're born.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I think it just like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the, like, I'm looking at my like me and my sister's dynamic, right? I feel like she's a lot more emotional and expressive, and I think like when it comes to like family related stuff or issues, like I think I'm very emotional and expressive when it comes to like art or music or film, because I feel like I in a way express my emotions through that. But when it comes to like stuff when it's like dealing with issues and problems, I think because my sister and like my parents are very emotional, I kind of like feel my emotions through their expressions, and I feel like I kind of take on this like hardness, this coldness that like, you know, are like, okay, we can't be emotional right now, we need to think of it from this, like, you know, tomorrow is like, how do I explain it? Like, I remember when our family was going through something, I was like, you know, like my family, obviously they're very devastated, but I'm like, we can't just like stay in the moment, like we have to move on, life is moving on, like I have like an exam tomorrow, this and that, like you can't live in the moment, and not live in the moment, but like accept the reality. So for me, I think I've been doing that for so long that I feel like that kind of in a way made my dismissive attachment style. And I think, you know, like in general, like I'm a very dismissive person, like especially when I
go next mentality.
yeah, I'm like Ashik's like that too, like
Yeah,
the go next
he is.
mentality.
Yeah.
Like
we described it to Ashik. I was like,
We're
yeah,
like, what,
Farah
he's like, what
this-
does this mean? And we're like, just go next.
Yeah,
One word.
You know, and I was like describing how you are. Like, you know, if something big happens to you, you like might not take the time to process it, and you just go on to the next thing because you're like, you know, it's a big stressful thing, but like, you know, what can I do? Go next. Ashik is like, the problem with me is like when I hear this, I hear no problem in this. Like, this does not seem like a problem to me.
No, but what is it? I can definitely relate to that. So like I figured out this year how I handle stress, and it's very toxic. So for example, how I deal with stress is like I don't really see it as an like I can see it as an emotion I can control. Like for example, if I'm happy, I'm like, oh, I'm happy, it'll like pass away. Or like if I'm sad, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm sad for like this period of time because this happened, but I'll eventually move on from it. So for stress, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm stressed now, but I'll get over it. Like it's fine. Like it's not that deep. Like basically that's me. Like
It's not that deep.
yeah, anytime I get stressed, I'm like, it's not that deep, I'll move on. Like I'm just stressed for this day, and like, you know, stress is temporary, but it isn't, because I definitely saw the repercussions to it. And like this year, like, you know, I definitely saw like, you know, what I am stressed, how it affects my health and this and that. So I've learned to slowly be not too dismissive, and I've been called out on it too, like with family and like even friends. Like I feel like I don't really open up to like family too much or other stuff like that. I feel like they always expect, not they don't expect me, but because of the person that I have become for so long, they've expected me to like not be this type of person. So like, remember when we were playing like We Are Not Strangers? I think the question was like, what is one thing that you don't, like you can't understand about me? And then for me, it's like, I hate feeling weak. Like I hate when like anyone or anything or like anyone like that I know thinks that I'm weak, and I hate feeling that emotion that like, you know, maybe this person thinks I'm weak or this and that. So for that, I always try to do the complete opposite and like appear very strong. And sometimes I like, because of that, I dismiss so much going on in my life. So yeah, that's kind of it. Do you have it?
I feel like it's so parent. it's so parent.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, no, but I also like at the same time, it's like almost that's the way that you are like this right now. It's almost like you coping with the fact that you have to be independent, right? Like I think like how it develops definitely adds up to it, where like, you know, like this feeling of like, yeah, like when I say one thing that I don't understand, it's like you always want to be strong, which is like, you know, that's natural. And like, you know, being the first daughter in like an immigrant household, a lot of it, like there's a reason for it, but that need to be always be strong like does not let you time, like allow you for any time to like bounce back for anything, because in your mind you're like, I bounce back, like, you know, I'm saying go next, like immediately you're like, okay, you know, this happened, I bounce back, I'll do the next thing. But in reality, like, did you really bounce back from that? Or is this just like you telling yourself that like this doesn't affect me that much, right?
Yeah, definitely. Go next. Yeah. I think, there was something else I wanted to say, I forgot. It related more to relationships. Like, yeah, like I don't know. I feel like I was like reflecting on this too. Like, me and the other person, like Ashik, who's also like dismissive. We're the only two people like I know that like have not been in a relationship, like out of like all our friend groups that like, well, like my friend group and everything, right? And then like I feel like I've become so like hyper independent that like I can't even like fathom what it's like. I'm like, what do you mean I like wake up and have to text you like good morning? Like
Why can't you text me good morning? I'll train you.
like I can't fathom that. Like what the fuck do you mean I have to do that? Like that's so crazy to me. I need to work on that. But just stuff like that. And then I'm like, I don't know, you know, like there's stuff that I'm just like, damn, like I just can't fathom myself like doing that, or like when other people do that, right? Like I was watching an episode of Sabar Talk and they're like, is it like something about like texting in the morning, like if they text a certain way. I was like, wait, you guys like couples text each other like every single morning? Like that's such a crazy concept to me. But you know what, it's okay. I'm like learning about it through people and friends and everything. But I don't know, I really want to know like from how do you like become dismissive to secure? Like I wonder what that pipeline is. Like what happens, like what do you need to do to like
I think it's like some form of dismissive is okay, but honestly, I think if it's a significant piece of your life, you can't really dismiss it. Like you should actually try to address it. I feel like that's one.
That's
way.
true.
Like just more self-aware of what is gonna impact you a lot.
Yeah.
This is what is okay to just dismiss.
I'm looking like is there a wiki how?
Yeah, I feel like this is a part of the go next. You can't just go next into being secure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like things are like I think it says first step is self-awareness. Right?
Yeah, it
Being
says self-aware.
Yeah,
That's
being
true.
Like, I
self-aware of
think-
what is.
Yeah.
Before I didn't know I was like that. Like I was gonna mention this example. Like remember the guy, like in first year, like not the one in our block, the other guy I liked. Like you know, there was like only like two guys ever I mentioned. But like I look back at it, I'm like, low-key, I didn't really even know this guy.
Yeah.
Like we like barely interacted and I didn't even engage in I engaged in conversation but I never expanded from there. I was kind of like, yeah, I'm satisfied with our minimal conversation and that was it. And I'm like, why did I never like, you know, expand on this, right? And then I feel like I created this whole idea of this person, of who they can be based on like such minimal actions that I'm like, holy crap, I didn't even like this person. Like it's a whole fake person that I like
Scenario you made up
fake
in your
scenario
head.
that I'm like, wait, like everything I think about, I'm like, it's literally not you. So then I think that was in a way of me trying to like be like, you know, this was like the dismissive behavior, right? I didn't want to be too close, so I always kept it at like an arm's distance and like literally never engage in convo like to that next level. So yeah, I didn't realize that. I was like, wait, I don't think that guy was even like real like to a certain extent. But no, slowly I've been changing. And you've seen that.
Yeah, you're growing.
This attachment style, I'll look at the percentage and then we'll finish it. It's avoidant, right?
Yeah.
23%.
Okay, pretty low population.
Yeah, they're not as tentative as you
Wait,
kind
what
of.
was secure? 62?
Yeah,
That's kinda
62.
crazy.
That's already 85% gone.
Anxious.
85% of the population's already covered.
Wait, hold on. What's it called? Secure.
You
No,
know,
no.
But the thing is, okay, I don't think I'm secure, but I don't think I'm fearful. Because I, like, when you read fearful, people run away. I don't run away.
Yeah, that's
Do
the
I
thing.
seem like someone that's
No.
fearful of getting into a relationship and then I just, like, peace out? Like, I'm not fearful.
I think you're
Like, you know.
fearful of bringing things up.
But then that's not, like, there's, like, part of it that's avoided. Like, that's more like anxious avoidant. You get anxious about it, but because I'm not, like, like, when you read that, like, usually fearful avoidant people are the people that have, like, the most commitment.
Let's just
issues.
wait till your part comes
You know?
up.
I don't think so. I don't think
Let's just
so.
wait.
Let's just wait. Okay.
Let's just wait.
I don't know. I mean, I think I definitely see.
You don't seem like Alden. That's all I'm gonna say.
Really?
Okay, guys. Like,
Okay. I
am
feel
I
like
just
I
like
relate a
the?
lot.
Am I just like the?
I feel like I relate
Like-
to Alden though, guys.
Yeah, I think how it develops signs. I mean, I talked about it. Persistently avoid emotional or physical intimacy. Have a hard time trusting people. That's true. Like trusting people intimately. I
Yeah,
feel like that's
like
hard
at
to
a
do.
next level, yeah.
Oh yeah, actually, I talked about this. I'm stupid. Yeah. If you guys have no other questions, we can. Anything else you want to add on to it?
When you said like you hate feeling weak.
Yeah.
When like people like help you, do you ever like, do you always think that like, oh, this person thinks I'm weak because that's why they're helping me?
Yeah, and it's a
every
very
time.
toxic mentality.
Oh, no.
Like, I don't want to think that, but I think like, I feel like they think that like obviously when it comes to small stuff like school or whatever, that's fine, but like emotionally, like I feel like when I lean on someone, like subconsciously I'm like I'm thinking to myself like I'm at a weak position and I don't like that. And that's fine to be. Like, I love helping people, like my friends and people I care about. Like, I will help them regardless, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know why I can't accept that. Like, accept being vulnerable in that extent.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Like, I know I'm self-aware, but I know it's not a good mentality. Because, like, you know, like when we were talking about when we were playing that game, right? When friends come to me for help, like, I never think they're weak.
Yeah.
Like, that's not something that ever registers in my brain. I'm like, no,
You
I would.
think other people would perceive you as that.
Yeah. Because I think, like, I heighten my emotions more when I'm, like, going for help. Like, I don't know, because since it's so, like, foreign to me in a way that, like, I think I'm like, oh my god, this is like the worst thing ever that I'm doing this. While, like, you know, when friends come to me for help, I'm like, yeah, like, I love doing that. Like, I want to be there for them, right? But yeah, that's basically okay. So we finished that one. Then moving on to the next one. Alden, you're next. It is anxious attachment style. Okay. So you can kind of read about this and, like, you know, talk about it.
Fear of rejection, check. Fear of abandonment, check. Depending on partner for validation and emotional regulation, check. Codependent tendencies, can we click into that?
Let's check. I know you have codependent tendencies.
Codependent tendencies, okay, what is it?
It's like you tend to codepend on someone for like
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't exist alone.
Yeah.
You need to like
you're, like,
Check.
attached. Okay.
No, but oh shit. I don't.
Let-
There you go, man.
Most.
wait, hold up. This is going too deep down the rabbit hole. Okay, wait, let me see. Inconsistent parenting that isn't attuned to a child's needs. What does that really... Okay, I guess I could kind of see that. These children have difficulty understanding their caregivers and have no security for what to expect from them moving forward. They're often confused within their parental relationships and feel unstable. Wait, I never knew this was part of it. This is kind of, like, actually kind of relatable. Children with this attachment style experience very high distress when their caregivers leave. Sometimes the parents will be supportive and responsive to the child's needs, while at other times they will not be attuned to their children. Okay.
Like hot and cold.
Yeah, kinda. If you have an anxious attachment style, your parents may also alternated between being overly coddling and detached or indifferent, been easily overwhelmed, been sometimes attentive and then push you away, made you responsible for how they felt. I'm not too sure about those.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, these children often grow up thinking they are supposed to take care of other people's feelings and often become codependent. This is so
Signs.
interesting. Signs. Signs you might have an anxious attachment style include clingy tendencies. Check. Highly sensitive to criticism, real or perceived. I'd say yeah. Needing approval from others, yeah. Jealous tendencies, yeah. Difficulty being alone, yeah. Low self-esteem. This is just... This is really eye-opening, guys. This is like I'm the embodiment of this attachment style. Feeling unworthy of love. Okay, that one I don't really understand that much. Intense fear of rejection, significant fear of abandonment, difficulty trusting others. Dude, okay, yeah, no.
Let's reflect on
Let's
this.
let's talk about these. I'm definitely really clingy in a relationship, dude. Okay, no, it's so weird because like it's so hard to think about this right now.
I've never seen you like in a relationship though. That's why.
That's
why,
why,
like,
I don't know.
You
It's
and
because
like,
I'm the type of person to disappear once I'm in one. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you so think about your periods of your life when you had no
codependent.
So that whole year I disappeared. Where was I, man?
Wait, Wait, but do you feel like you've always been like this in every relationship you've been in? Or
if
do you
you
think
cared about them enough, if you actually truly felt that way about them, I think.
Yeah, I think I have. I
Oh,
think
yeah?
I have. Yeah, I think like it's always been like this for me. Even with like friends and stuff,
Okay.
I'm like really clingy. Like, I don't know. There was an example I can think of. I don't know. Growing up, like I've always, like I talked to Helen and Nick about this at the den, but like growing up, apparently it's not normal for you to just go home after school and spend like 10 hours in a Discord call with your friends.
They had 1,000 hour run.
Like, yeah, we were talking about this. Back in middle school, we would go home and run this Skype call, right?
Yeah.
Where
Okay.
like there's 10 of us in it, and we just keep the call going for like 1,000 hours or some shit like that. There's like a 3-week call at some point where we just like we never ended it. We would like have 2 people stay in the call or like all of us would like sleep on call together or something. Like it's like apparently that's not normal. Like I've always grown up having friends like with me at all times. Like you know, like so it's like weird. It's kind of weird. Like so I feel like it definitely like some of the parenting stuff mentioned. Like I felt that, but then yeah, like what Nick said, like, it's like my friends really steered me more in that direction than what I was initially. So like yeah, it's like hard for me to be alone with my thoughts because I just marinate, like they just marinate in my head, and it's like yeah no, but like yeah, so that's where like the clingy tendencies come from, and then
they talk about jealous tendencies?
jealous tendencies. Yeah, I feel like it's like. Ooh, how do I even explain this?
You are.
Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah,
is what
check.
it is. Check. Yeah, difficulty being alone, mentioned that. Low self-esteem, like, I don't know where this comes from. Maybe it's like...
Do you think you have a low? I know
don't-
you joke about it, but I feel like.
I feel like
do
you're
you really?
like a moderate.
Yeah, I don't think you're low self-esteem.
Maybe, yeah, maybe not low. Confidence for me is like having someone gas me up, you feel? like I feel like I depend a lot on like my friends' validation.
So validation,
Yeah.
need for
Yeah,
validation.
yeah.
From,
like I try to like be perceived by others in like a good light, you know, like so
That's
I'm always like
normal, though.
I'm always like not necessarily doing something for myself, but how like others would look at me, you know.
It's
Yeah,
always
yeah,
good,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
like at the same time, I feel like that's most people. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to the
yeah.
degree at which you do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
How it manifests in a relationship.
Yeah, how it manifests in a relationship. People with anxious attachment styles usually feel unworthy of love and need constant reassurance from their partners. They often blame themselves for challenges in the relationship and can exhibit frequent and intense jealousy or distrust due to poor self-esteem. I don't know if it's due to poor self-esteem though. Like, yeah, I don't know. Okay, no, like, I get jealous as fuck.
Real one.
Like,
Yeah.
like, let's be real here. Is that
Only
a
Helen
red-
would know.
Is that a red flag?
I mean, like, yeah, it's just. Yeah, jealousy is
Like, 'cause
interesting.
we never met.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't know all of them.
Like,
back then.
feel unworthy of love.
Do you feel like when you get into a relationship, you kind of give your all in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely like really invested. Like,
Like next level simp type of vibe.
I just want to
like
say it on camera.
feeling, yeah, like
Do you feel like you're unworthy? Like they keep saying unworthy of
yeah.
love. Do you feel that?
I don't think I feel that because like I give it my all, you know. So I don't think I feel unworthy necessarily. But like the part where it's like,
No, I'm just. Oh,
Insecurities.
sorry, I'm just trying to look
Sorry.
at more. Yeah, yeah. Which one?
where was it? Right there.
Yeah.
The part where it's like reassurance from partner. Like I feel like no matter what, like I always need reassurance from my partner. Like I think that's just
Is your love language
how I am.
words of affirmation?
Dude, wait, okay, when someone mentions your love language, like, is it what you like to
Yeah,
give
it's-
or what you
yeah.
like to
Right?
receive?
It's like you
Is
can
it
have one
both?
for either. Like
Yeah,
both. It can
Okay.
be different. Like what do you like to receive? Like are you? And what do you
I like quality time.
Mm.
Well, whenever I do the quiz, like, quality time is always my number one, which makes sense
Yeah, yeah.
That makes
according
sense.
to my attachment style.
Codependency.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just trying
Whatever.
to find more explanations or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Clingy and possessive.
Yeah, it's the same
insecure.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, basically, I'm an insecure, clingy bitch.
No.
He's just like, no, but.
Anyway.
Do you feel? Oh, sorry.
No, go.
Oh no, I just saw this one, and this is a different one. Do you feel like you have difficulty setting boundaries?
Do you even have boundaries?
I don't have boundaries.
I knew, because that one part, I'm the same. I don't have that many boundaries.
Like, if I'm in a relationship, like, you can do whatever the with me, man. I'm like, is that bad? Like,
No, I
like
don't know.
I'm like all in, you know. So it's like, I'm like a toy. I'm like a.
Leave it in.
Okay.
Like, what are the questions? Here?
This is good. This is good. Examples.
Examples of anxious attachment. An anxious attachment style can manifest in many ways. For example, calling your. Okay, yeah. Whenever I have a problem in a relationship, right, I need to fix it now, like then and now. Like, and I'll always bring shit. Like, I'm the
like
type.
that too.
That's, I'm the
No, you're
type
not.
of mother. No, you're not. Like, I'm the type of mother to be like if I see something wrong, like I'll bring it up then. Like I won't wait on it. Like I won't sit on it at all. Like I'm like I'll be
makes
like really hot headed about it.
Now
I'm
we know
hot-
you're.
I'm
Now we know
hot-headed.
you're not anxious.
No, but
Like-
I do that. I'm hot-headed about it. I bring it up, doesn't resolve, then I avoid it.
Yeah.
But
No,
then
you do. I agree. I
bring it
can
up.
back her
Like,
up on
'cause
that, yeah.
You telling me to wait 3-4 days. I'm like, I need to about this right
no,
now.
No, I said bring it up. Marinate.
No, I told you.
It
Like,
does.
Yeah, I'm really like sitting there eating dinner like.
Then I was like, okay, I'm sorry for bothering you. Oh, he's like, no, keep talking. Okay.
Everything's good.
Ask your
and
question.
we're
Yeah.
back.
Ask-
Okay.
Oh, you're anxious? The one that says like hard, like difficult being alone. Is this why you text me every time like you're done class right away? Like where you at?
I do that with everyone too.
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna
the
say-
thing.
I was
Like,
gonna
it's not
ask.
with just you. It's like
Yeah,
with all my friends.
yeah.
It's like I need someone. Like, I can't be alone. I don't know if it's just right now, like this time in my life is difficult, and I just need someone to. I just need someone to talk to distract me from my problems, or if this is like actually how I am. But I feel like when things in my life are going well, I still like need to talk to someone. You know, like it's hard for me to be alone. Yeah.
Is that something you want to improve on? Like, do you?
I mean,
want
for
to?
sure. Like, I need to work on being alone for sure.
Okay. No, because I know some people who like codependency. Like, they like having that.
Maybe you find someone that like is the same vibes as you.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, let's talk
do you
about
like
this,
that?
guys. My last relationship.
Well, let's talk about it.
Go on.
Go on.
Go on.
was very like codependent and very like we
You
were
liked
always
it.
there for each other. Like
But you
very-
like that.
Yeah, and I liked it.
Oh, you liked
It was
it?
like perfect in like personality wise.
Oh,
so, like
okay.
fit wise, it was like pretty close to perfect.
Okay.
But other circumstances.
So you like that they're also like codependent on you? Because I know sometimes like this is weird, but like I've seen guys who kind of like the chase, who like you know,
yeah.
I've seen that happen.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, no, I like it when there's a mutual codependency. Like you both are clingy. like that's why I hate it when girls play games and shit. Like there's a mind, like the mind of an overthinker. like
I
it like
see.
it like I just want like a girl who's like if a girl is like straightforward with her feelings and everything, and like you know she's like also like kind of similar, like she likes that codependent relationship. Like that's like perfect. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
Makes sense.
yeah.
Any other examples you can think of? Which
Feeling suspicious when everything is calm is also something that I struggle with as well.
That's crazy.
Because things could be going like completely fine, and it's like you still have something to bring up. Like I feel like I always have something to bring up, which is like kind of mess. Like it's kind of bad, but like that's the mind of an overthinker. Because
No.
when everything's calm, you think that something is going on. Like,
This is crazy.
okay.
okay.
Go okay. Repeatedly asking your partner if they find you attractive. I do that with you guys.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Like, I know. It's crazy. No. And
that with you
I always find different ways to say it. so it doesn't feel like I'm asking the same question over and over.
Like, out of 10, what would I be? I'm
Like out of 10, like what would you rate me out of 10? You feel?
Oh my god, I'm
Yeah,
dying.
this is what I mean by I feel like I relate to this.
Trying to avoid breaking up by all means, even when the relationship isn't healthy. Yeah, I'm like so brain dead, so brain dead to the point where if I know something's wrong with the relationship, I'll just pretend like there isn't anything wrong. Like that's I
I'm telling you.
sort of got a dismissive side to me, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
is that kind of dismissive?
Yeah. That
Like,
I think that's anxious attachment because then you're anxious about being alone.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, like going along with whatever your friends want to do, even if you don't feel like it. That's also me, because like I don't want to be like that guy you feel. Like if they want to go out and I'm pissed tired, I'll be like, yeah, sure. Like, you know.
Do you have a hard time? Yeah. Do you have a hard
having-
time saying no?
Yeah, I feel like I have
Yeah.
a hard time saying. Like I'm definitely like a people pleaser. I feel like, like I try not to be, but I feel like I'm definitely like kind of a people pleaser. Yeah.
Kind
Is
of
that everything on?
going back to like this last comment,
Uh-huh.
like, would you, in a way, like, let's say if the relationship was like super toxic, would you still choose that over being alone, like single? Or do you think you
Yes.
know?
I think it really depends, actually.
Yeah. No, there's definitely
Depends if
certain
I still
boundaries.
like have like feelings for them. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Like I don't drag on relationships if I like don't like them anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lose
yeah,
feelings.
yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any other
Do
example?
you guys understand though, like
I
these
understand
points?
you.
Okay,
I understand
you
you.
guys, you two understand these points.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because I don't understand your points. Like I could never like see myself thinking the way you guys
Like-
think.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's like I understand those, like maybe not to like, your extent, but like
Yeah.
I told you the other day, right? Like growing
Uh-huh.
up, like I was like diagnosed with like anxiety and shit. Like I feel this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
this,
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
your attachment style isn't like your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but it kind of is.
Your relationships. I mean, like independently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, really? You feel like you can't see the other. But then, like, I look back at this. Like, I can see where it's coming from, like, from
Uh-huh.
another person's perspective. But, like, for me, okay, so for example, when you're, like, calling or texting your partner repeatedly until they respond, like, that overwhelms me a lot. Like, if they're like, oh, what are you doing? Or this, and that. Like, even the smallest things, like texting, good morning every morning, like that thought overwhelms me a lot. So I can't see myself doing it. But relative to other people, I was like, oh yeah, I can see that happening. Like, yeah, that's totally normal. But
Frequently checking social media. Like, I didn't even see that at first. Like, that's crazy. Like, yeah, no, like I do this shit too. Like everything here is like so me. It's crazy. I'm like,
even this one, feeling suspicious when everything is calm,
Yeah.
that's so crazy because for me, I'm the complete, like, I love like stability. Like for me, when
Yeah.
I think about it, I'm like, the calm would be so reassuring for me. There's nothing like of a thing that I have to stress over or think over. So like I never really question if a relationship is calm.
here's like my point of view. It's like, if it's calm, I think like, oh, like are they getting like bored?
I see what you
Yeah,
mean.
yeah,
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Very similar.
And yeah, wait, let's look at the percentage. So you are
15?
anxious. 15. I think that's,
15%.
oh wait, never mind.
wait, does this math?
yeah, 80, and then like the last one, the fearful avoidant, it's like 1%.
Oh yeah.
1 to 5%.
Damn.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
All right. Wait, what is that
Sorry?
tab? That
Oh, this
tab.
one was the one we first started
okay.
with.
So is there more stuff?
No,
to
it
that?
goes to
Oh, okay.
disorganized right away.
Is it different? Or is that fearful?
That's fearful.
Here, yeah, disorganized and fearful avoidance is the same. I don't know why they have so many terms.
Okay,
Like,
like this
Yeah.
is because I grew up so like when I read this, I don't like. I grew up very loved.
Uh-huh.
I had two very loving parents.
Yeah,
like
no.
I grew up like very spoiled with love. I was the
Uh-huh.
youngest child. I grew up like whatever I need, like emotional needs I needed, they fulfilled that. Like whatever, like I had like a huge family in China. Like I got love from all different aspects. I was not neglected or abused.
Yeah.
And then like seeing, you know, inconsistent. They were never inconsistent, and like you know, fear from their child and like disorganized behavior. I'm like, this doesn't like. I was never confused about like whether they loved me or not. Like I knew that for a fact. Okay, and then like signs of attachment.
wait,
Okay,
also we didn't. Sorry, like
Oh,
I
sorry,
wanted
sorry,
to
sorry,
transition.
sorry.
No.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
like, any last things that we want to ask Alden before we move on to Helen's? Any
I feel like we'll go back to all this.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
probably.
Yeah, we'll go back
What
to
you
all
just
this.
said though, like, like
You
the
related to
parenting, the parenting stuff that doesn't really relate. The childhood stuff really doesn't
Yeah.
relate to me as well.
Yeah,
I think.
because I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like I was so like I was definitely not abused or
I
neglected.
yeah, same.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
was like-
yeah, it's weird.
Mhm. But yeah, when you're young, like obviously
Yeah.
your influence isn't just family. Like
Yeah,
friends
yeah,
are a
yeah.
huge part. Like for example, me and my sister, we're like two different people, like completely
Mhm.
growing up in the same
Same
environment,
family,
you know.
yeah.
But that shows like even your parents treat you a different way, or even family and
Yeah.
friends. That shows how much of an impact, right?
Yeah.
And everything, like,
But, like,
IB,
yeah.
atmosphere, everything of that
But
sense,
even
right?
like in
Uh-huh.
general for this, like how it develops, neglected, confused. I was always very secure about myself, and I was always very
Oh,
like
really? Okay.
I was loved. I would friends being like alone, like having friends was never a problem for me. I was never like codependent to one group of friends. I was always like, you know, I had different friends, and like this is why like I can't see how I develop. Like this one doesn't make sense to me because
No, that
there's
makes
no
sense.
way like I grew up the way that I grew up, and I end up being like this based on like, you know, fear of like neglect and abuse and childhood trauma. Like
Yeah.
like bro, like, you know, obviously I had my like fair share of like things here and there, but like it was never like I grew up very happy, like, and loved by friends or family. I was never like, you know,
Yeah.
I was a very fortunate child in a lot of senses, right?
This is this is the last one, by the way. So you don't
No,
get
like I just feel like
Cool.
okay, is that okay? But like at the same time, like why would I wait? Can you
Oh,
go
yeah.
back to it?
yeah, yeah. It's
That's
called.
like, you say that I was grown up this
Yeah,
way, or like
that's true,
this
that's true.
led to that when I was very much not like that.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
not a
but let's look at the
reflection.
sides.
Okay, okay,
still.
okay, okay, okay.
Let's still look at
In
the
the
sides.
title, I
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
emphasize is disorganized attachment or also / fearful avoidant.
Fearful avoidant, yeah. So okay, fearful of rejection, yes. I actually have a pretty big fear of rejection, not just from like relationships, like more for like life in general, right?
Uh-huh.
Inability to regulate emotions, like I think that's like it depends, right? Like rather than like I'm a very emotionally feeling driven person, so like, I could see this, but I don't think it's like inability to regulate it in terms of I don't act out explosively. Like I never like, you know, have huge things that I can't like. It's everything that happens to me emotionally is within my realm of like control, so that I don't actually end up going into any phases where it's like, oh, I'm like, you know, like very explosive. Contradictory behavior, I don't think so. Like I think I'm very consistent in terms of like what I do and like what I believe. High levels of anxiety, I am anxious. Difficulties of trusting others, I don't think so. I'm very trusting of a person. I don't get scared of people like failing my trust or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I give
that
up.
was one thing from mine that I forgot to touch on. It's like,
Yeah.
like I think initially I'm really like I could trust someone, but once they like break that trust even like a little bit, like it starts to fall apart. You know, like even if there's like that shred of doubt, then it just like
If-
the overthinker in me balloons it. And
Did it
just-
say that you were difficulty trusting others
Yeah.
too? Oh,
Yeah.
never. Yeah. See, I don't like
Yeah,
that's
no,
completely not me. I
it's
like
not.
even if you break my trust, I'll still like trust. Like I'm not that I'm not that guarded of a person. I'll say whatever. I'll do whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And then both avoidant and anxious. Like I think I'm more anxious than avoidant. Mood disorder, bro. Like, chill. I'm like, bro. Like, what the
Wait,
fuck?
these are so extreme.
like,
Personality.
Yo.
my personality is pretty. I'm pretty normal, guys.
Yeah, let's ignore
like this
that
is
part.
not
Let's
a
ignore
hard
that
thing.
part.
No, that
Like
is
even
really
even
extreme.
these signs, like fear of like the things that I relate to is the things that are in the anxious one, fear of rejection, like emotion. Like I think I'm regulated, but like inability to control it. I guess like how I feel. I don't think I behave very contradictory.
Yeah, you
I
say
have
what-
anxiety, but I don't think high levels of anxiety. Like I've only learned what anxiety felt like this year, or like, you know, other
Yeah,
than
yeah,
test
yeah.
anxiety. I'm very trusting with people, and like I think like I have anxious. Like I do think I have some avoidant attachment style, but then
This
like this one
category
So out
is
of all
like-
of those, you think you
Like, it's-
the signs like for
The-
anxious attachment was
with
more
more.
like you?
I
Oh.
think so.
Or the relationship part.
Like this one, it's like okay. While they desperately seek love, they also push partners away because of the fear of love. Do I push people away because of fear of love? I'm like, bro, come ruin me. Like I don't care.
Wait.
I'm not fearful of love. Like, you know.
Well, like from this category, like this one, it's like giving very extreme.
Yeah, I'm like,
Very
I was
extreme.
like,
What the
even,
fuck?
like I don't push people away because
Yeah,
I
you
fear
don't.
love though. Like I seek love. I like the first part while they desperately
This is
seek
very
love. Like I do
extreme.
love, but then like they believe that they will always be rejected, but they don't avoid emotional intimacy. They fear it, but constantly seek out for it, only to get rejected again. Like I feel like that's
not
like
you.
I don't believe that I will always be rejected. I think I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, like I don't avoid emotional intimacy. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't fear it and then seek out for it. Like I'm fear of rejection, but like in the sense of like I do like see a little bit of that. Like I do fear like rejection, but like I don't mind.
Yeah.
Like I see a little bit in that, but see, okay, unpredictable. Sure, like I agree with that. Like they perceive their partners as unpredictable, and they themselves behave in an unpredictable way as their rest. So I'm pretty predictable. I give like a very blank slate to the other person. I do perceive them as unpredictable though. So that's why I'm like, when I read the results for this one, I'm like, I think I was in a very like hostile emotional state when I took it.
Did they say it? Like, did these descriptions show it when you did the? When
like when it came out, like they had a list of things, and then like that's why I was like, I don't think I very much align with it.
Yeah.
Other than like because being fearful is not me. I'm not fearful of things. To like, I am avoidant. I'm anxious, but I'm not like fearful. And there's like even like dismissive. There's parts of me that's dismissive, like the independency part. I don't want to feel like even though I get into relationships, I always have to preface by the fact that I have always been a very independent person, like, you know, even if I like having someone there, and then like codependency, and then like I am like there's elements of secureness in me. There's
She's battle.
you know, like this last one is like crazy. I'm not that crazy. I'm very like you know, like obviously I'm going through a very radical phase of my life, but even like at my most radical state, I feel like I'm not that crazy. And in my regular state, hey, shut the f***. If I'm crazy, you're crazy. We're in the same boat. Even in my most radical state.
Dude, like, it went from like the childhood to like...
Yo, these are saying that like crazy is like I have like personality, like substance use. Like I'm not someone like that. I have a good regulation of what I am.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah,
and I've never associated like personality disorder. Like what?
No, like I know exactly what I feel and like you know
who you are. Yeah.
Yeah, like even if it's like I'm aware that I'm not a complete human. Like I'm aware I'm codependent. I think I have elements of codependency.
You're aware you're crazy.
So I think the closest one from all three of yours might be like a sprinkle of the anxious one, but I think the one part is just like I don't think low self-esteem is a thing, but I do seek validation. Like I do like not like a constant one, but I like validation.
Is it hard for you to be alone?
Yeah, like, but I don't know, like even the alone thing, I think I'm a little bit better than you, but I am like.
Oh yeah, thanks. Oh thanks.
No, that's why we're great for each other all day. That's sorry. So sorry.
That's so.
No, but I fear of being alone. That was one thing that I wanted to work on when I went to like Taiwan by myself, right? I wanted to work on it, and I feel like I made better. But I am like being alone is hard for me. You have to cut this out. But I was talking to my friend yesterday.
Your anxious attachment style's worst nightmare.
No, but I am also anxious attachment style.
No, but that is like.
You hear these people?
I'm making Alden's face every time. It's funny.
See, it says you are not doomed to your attachment style. Awareness is the first and most important step. What are your patterns? Do you tend to pull away or smother? Smother. Okay. Being honest with yourself and your partner is crucial. Second, it's important to treat your relationships as a foundation and develop it as a secure base. Researchers say people who change their attachment style are forming an earned secure attachment style. That means, see guys, we're changing. We can do this. Avoiding rocky relationships, frequent breakups, fights, or roller coaster emotions will destroy your chances and are moving into a secure style.
Take this out.
I'm dead.
Believe it. You
don't leave that part in. Don't leave that part in. It's not exposing you. It's just the quick glance.
Oh my god.
You gotta leave that part in.
Yeah. Believing in growth. There is no such thing as a perfect relationship or a perfect partner. The more we understand that we can grow into deeper and deeper love, the more energy we put into a relationship, instead of doubting it or dismissing it.
Seeking secure partners.
Yeah.
That first bullet point, oh my god.
So funny.
I looked at all of this.
Avoid rocky.
Seeking secure partners. If you're looking for your ideal partner, it's important to think how they attach. Anxious and avoidant attachers can seek out secure attachers to become more secure themselves. Date Nick. Yeah.
Date Nick right now.
That's right.
So yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
ways to. Dude, I can't believe you
You
were
know-
put in that category.
That's what I'm saying. I told you I was like I was calling you. I was talking to you while doing it.
Yeah.
Like,
But
it was
like, I just that's like extreme.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's why
what
I'm
the
like,
fuck?
guys, I'm not trying to deny something that I'm not. Like, it's just I am not that. I know I'm not that.
I guess I've never been in a super secure relationship either, which doesn't help.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in a secure relationship. It still didn't really help. Yeah, I don't avoid. Like, I avoid certain things. I
Did
do
you say you're
avoid-
like that with your like parents though?
like
you're
like
kind of avoidant with your
sometimes.
parents?
Yeah, like I'm a bit more avoidant with my parents than
Yeah,
like
I'm like that too. I'm
Yeah.
definitely not anxious with my parents.
I'm not anxious with
Yeah.
my parents too. I'm more
Well,
avoidant.
even
yeah.
with like my family, I'm not anxious at all. Like,
Yeah,
I'm,
but
yeah,
that's
I
'cause
think
they
I'm
give
pretty
you,
avoidant with my family,
Like,
but
I-
no good reason.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just
I am like I think it's like
Yeah, there's like a spectrum of how you.
yeah. I'm like I don't think I'm high avoidance, but I'm probably somewhere here with family, like where
Oh,
I am
okay.
like low anxiety and like sometimes like there's an element of avoidant, but I'm not like crazy about
Uh-huh.
it. Like I won't. Yeah, I'm not like crazy about it, but I do have like an element of avoidance, and then
Mhm.
like yeah, I don't know.
Negative
I'm
model
like
of
I'm
self.
pretty like. It's hard for me because I'm such an egotistic and self-centered person. I think I'm the shit. Like like that's fine for the world to know.
Yeah.
That's a part of who I am.
Yeah.
Like that's who I am. I'm always very like I've known who I was from a young age,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
always been who I am. And regardless of whoever comes into my life, I've always been the way I am, right? But then like how come my personality manifests into like anxious attachment style where I'm like all these like insecure. Maybe I'm not as secure about myself as I thought. Maybe I'm not as self-centered.
Yo, we just saw her go through a whole roller coaster.
Maybe I'm not.
She's just
Maybe
like
I'm not as.
You were like,
I'm not as.
we started today
secure.
when you said, "Oh, I really found myself. Like, I think I'm good enough to go to grad school."
No, but that's like how I will frame my like professional life.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know? Like,
that's
that's like confidence. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'll figure out myself.
Yeah, you found yourself at the end. Like you just did everything yourself, and then
Yeah,
And then you just.
yeah. I don't know, but
I
like,
think you are like Thanos, or like not like.
yeah,
Thanos.
I'm a little bit of everything because
You're
I
like-
like when you say dismissive, I'm very much someone that's like I need to be self-reliant. Even if
Yeah.
I'm in a relationship, I need to feel like I'm in control of things, right? Like, right? And I'm like, I don't know if I like I'm heavily feelings driven, and like maybe it's just like I can be secure when I don't feel as intensely.
Oh, I see. That's
The
a
more
good point.
intense I feel about something, the more insecure I'll feel about something.
Ah.
If like I'm very secure in school or something like that because I know that school never fails me. No, if it's the last thing I hold on to.
Not like your life.
But like in terms of what like when things feel like they're attainable and when things
Yeah.
feel like they're within my reach and within my control, I feel secure. When things
Yeah.
feel like they're like out of my control and like in a way that I've never comprehended before, then I'm like I feel very insecure.
So, like,
That's normal.
relationships,
Yeah,
like
in
attachments,
relation.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah, yeah.
normal. Though.
That's normal. That's normal.
Like when you get out of your realm. So
Yeah.
I'm capable of having like secure, like
Yeah.
relationships. It's just a matter of like what I want for myself.
Yeah, everything you're saying is like there's variations of that to like everyone.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
I
not
feel
just
like you guys are not like not everyone fits in a box. Like you're gonna be anxious sometimes.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to
Yeah.
avoid things.
Oh.
Are you completely one?
I feel like I've never felt feelings of secure or avoidant or
Beautiful.
fearful, sorry, or dismissive.
You feel like you've never.
Like I don't think I've ever felt this way when it comes to relationships. Besides like my parents or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
my family, but like in terms of like my friends and my relationships. Never been not anxious. Never known anything else.
If it's a spectrum, 97% introvert, 99% like.
99% anxious.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this could be like a scale, like
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Because like.
So, is there like attachment styles on Dimensional? Because then they give it in a scale,
think
right?
they
I
would.
think there is. Let me check. Damn, I had no idea, Alden. I learned a lot about you today. Do you feel like you ever? Wait, what?
Why did I open this up and this is the first thing? What the fuck?
But
It's like
It's like first trait. How do you rate Farron on codependency?
Low. How do you
Yeah.
rate Alden on codependency? Extreme.
that's so funny.
Dimensional.
Wait, let me check because they're Attachment styles. Wait,
Where?
yeah.
Is it the force?
Oh, there's
No,
new
but there's
ones. I've seen
different.
new ones.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, do
How
those.
do you rate Nick Wong on behavioral autonomy?
What is that?
Does not succumb to peer pressure. Oh yeah, you definitely don't really.
Yeah.
Does not alter.
Why are we doing this now?
Behavior.
Oh, that's true. This is okay. So it's weird. On Dimensional, they have different things. They have like the
Oh, my
attachment
attachment
style.
style is the Weaver. What is that?
Talk about it a bit.
How do you see that?
Here.
You go to your like your results.
Okay, wait.
Oh,
I
yes,
gotta.
No, wait. No, you don't.
You can. They can wait.
They can-
they're-
wait. They can wait.
They have class.
Are they texting you right now?
Yeah.
Any last words you want to say before?
Oh, they're doing chest. I don't want to do chest.
Yeah, yeah.
You
so
can
chest.
skip.
You can
You
skip
can
that.
You can say, you can
You
skip
can
that.
skip
I don't
Ah,
know.
skip that shit. There's always another day.
Yeah, this was fun. So yeah, just
Yeah.
keep going.
Okay, you guys coming to the gym with me after that?
I just went.
You coming to the gym with me? I gotta go alone. You can't. You know I can't be alone all day.
You can do it. You can do it.
You know I can't
You
be
have
alone.
it in you. You have it in you.
Got the dog in me. Well,
Of course
sorry.
you do.
At the end of the day, this is all for funsies.
Yeah, okay, yeah, just to preface, these are like random ass tests that people do. They're not fully accurate at all.
Yeah, and like to categorize all
Yeah.
of humanity into 4 boxes is extreme. So,
very
you know,
extreme.
personality tests. Take it with a grain of salt, but this is fun.
Take it with a grain of salt, please do. Do not what is it, psychoanalyze this. The worse it gets. On Dimensional, though, there's a bunch of different things. So, like, for attachment styles, right? So, I got the adventure. What did you get? You got
The
the...
realist.
Check what... Did you guys do this one
I
yet?
got the Weaver.
Check on assessments.
I don't know what these numbers are.
And then go down. There should be, like, an
the
attachment
numbers?
style. It should be in one of... No? Did you
I
already
just
do
read
it?
your
never
first
done it.
statement. I read your first line.
This one. Oh, you didn't do
Yeah.
it. But how long is the predicted time?
You know those TikToks
Oh, yeah,
that are
just do
like when close isn't close enough,
No,
you need
this
to
is
be
too
in
hard.
their
This is
socks
too
and
hard.
shit.
In their skin.
In their skin, like the same pair of socks and shirt and shit. Like you see those TikToks.
Yeah, is that you?
Yeah, man.
So
When
only you
close
want to go to the
isn't close
gym?
enough.
We're not too far off.
I'm very anchored.
Oh, how do you get the?
Yeah, you're very
How do you
anchored.
get
I'm
like
more
the?
daring.
Oh, is it details?
So for me, it says...
Then mention
Bro, I
always
can't-
since
I'm not as interdependent as I thought I would be.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, good for
Good
you.
job. Good for you.
I mean, the feels like.
The first statement on his, it says,
What does it say?
needs psychological and physical closeness. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense with quality time and everything. And
Yeah.
What does yours say? As the first one?
Bro,
It
I'm
says
both-
practical and realistic in love.
Wait, what? Yeah,
That's
very.
very.
That's
That's
very.
very you.
Mine says the adventure is fun-loving and independent, valuing spontaneity in a relationship, but picking partners based on pragmatic fit.
Yeah, that's so you. That is so you. The list.
The list,
Yeah.
which is bad.
Bro, I'm going through your face where I don't know who I am, so these personality tests are not good.
Oh, no, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, I'm like
You're
reshaping
like that.
myself, so I think I need a.
That's okay. I also think like it still hasn't been too long since you've come back. You need to like let your thoughts marinate
Yeah,
more,
yeah.
like take it easy.
Yeah, I've been in a very like I don't know, like one moment I'm like, yeah, I got the dog in me. The next moment, like,
You do have the dog in you. It says like, do you have like identity? So for me, it
this is
says.
mine. That's it.
What the? Okay, you can read yours.
The whole thing?
Which yeah, for sure. Why not?
The realist is independent and centered, approaching love with a realistic and practical lens. They value stability and reliability in a romance. They appreciate having their own careers, friends, and their space to live their own lives and make their own decisions, even when they're in a relationship. Blah blah.
Yeah, you
Just
can
whatever.
summarize the rest, don't worry.
This type is comfortable being alone, and their search for a partner is based on the right fit rather than driven by an unmet need to be with someone. I have one bullet point under desire, and it says an independent sense of self and life outside of the relationship, which is very true.
Do you guys feel like when you like Alden's like he hears what you guys talk about and he can never imagine himself being either one of those or like never been that? When you hear the other categories, do you feel like you're malleable, like in a sense
Yeah.
that like you could be that some days, you could be that?
Oh no,
No, you just like very.
but I would understand where
it comes
people
from.
like yeah.
Like, what if like you just get into a relationship with like your ideal type perfect woman,
Yeah, so then he'll
and
be
then she
secure.
starts like, she's like, you know, I don't know, would that not make you like less? Would that not make you more anxious? Like,
Wait, what?
like as opposed to like,
If you're dating like a Sana for twice.
No, wait, what?
yeah.
No, like he's
Like-
saying a perfect person.
But they're
Like-
toxic.
No,
No,
he
no.
said,
like
No, like, do you
Huh?
not get? He's essentially saying if you get
Cause-
someone that's like amazing, perfect, do you not
like,
get anxious,
you know, like
insecure?
Helen's feeling of like
When
she
something's-
said when something's more intense, you feel like more
anxious,
anxious about it, like more
out of reach,
Or do you
not,
feel more
like,
secure? Like,
I'm gonna say
I know what you
no
mean.
because I'm still confused of what you guys are trying to
Okay,
say.
if you,
I know what it
you're,
means.
you're used to like okay, like well, you could, I don't know, but like obviously
This
in
is-
your relationships or
yeah.
whatever, it's been like certain like you know it's within what you were like
Yeah.
like you know within a bubble that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah. Okay.
and then if it's someone that's out of that bubble, like amazing, perfect, like you know everything, and you're like
everything you ever
yeah, like
wanted
5,000
in a
leagues
woman.
above you in your mind, right? Like this girl that's Sana from like Twice. Someone that's so like out of boundary, like out of reach, not out of reach, but out of sight of your bubble. Do you think like depending on the person you're with, like that would trigger different behaviors, or like would you be more
Wait,
anxious?
but how is this person outside my bubble if they're exactly like my?
No,
think
not
I
like your
kinda-
ideal type. Like when he says ideal type, I think you're thinking of person like all of that, but it's more like a someone that's like so amazing that's outside of like your reach of like what you can like you know
Yeah.
used to.
I have a way to kind of put this in my terms. Like, you know how you said that, like, the more you feel things, like,
Yeah.
no, if, like, let's say if I do meet someone who's like, oh my God, this is like my type and this, and that, right? My emotions are obviously going to be very strong. For that, I get more dismissive because I'm feeling these really strong emotions and I'm like, holy crap, I'm like so scared right
yeah.
now. Like, what do I do? And because of that, I become more dismissive.
Yeah.
So
that's
the way
like how-
that, like,
yeah.
for you, like, let's say if you are feeling these really strong emotions, do you feel more secured? Like
Probably.
that, like, this is gonna work out, or like, you know, she's like my ideal type, like I'm more secured in this relationship that we can form.
Like it doesn't matter to like you know who your partner is doesn't matter to you and you just feel secure. It does who your partner is being like outside of your realm of like whatever will make you more like insecure, make you more like anxious, like you know.
Guys, I'm so confused.
Bro, it's like he just
Like he just doesn't
fathom.
understand.
He just
He just-
cannot fathom.
doesn't
It's like-
understand.
like, you know what you're saying? It's like your attachment style. So when
Yeah.
it's so intense, then you go into your like the
More.
more attachment
Yeah.
style. Like when like I could be secure on other days, but then when I'm like really going into something like really strongly, that would get more
Okay.
anxious.
Okay.
Like amplified
So
emotions.
it's-
Like
Would
do you,
I be more amplified being
if you
secure?
were
No, like in different styles. Like, do you see
Yeah.
yourself becoming more anxious, or
more
dismissive, or
like
fearful?
yeah, if you meet someone that's
Like when your feelings are amplified,
yeah.
or do you like in a way like how you said it?
I think it's like what I said in the beginning, like
I know what you mean.
like the chase, like before we're established. Yes,
Okay.
like because I feel like I'm more dismissive / anxious when I'm forming connections,
Yeah.
regardless romantic or friendships. But then once it's established, I'm like,
Yo, just
Because
like
in a
clicking your
relationship,
brain.
for me, it's like at the beginning, it's kind of like the opposite. At the beginning, it's like I'm less anxious about it, but as things start to get more like as I get more invested into it, like I get more
Exactly.
anxious about like
Yeah.
if things aren't gonna work because
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah.
invested in it. You know.
I agree.
I see what you mean, 100%.
Yo, low key, but like,
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
it's just like
yeah,
a
it's just like a trust
click.
thing.
Oh.
but like, but then like,
I'll be real. Like when I met you guys in like first year, like I was more like anxious, like seeing you guys in like classes because I was like, oh, I don't really like even like we weren't that close in
Yeah,
high school,
yeah.
right? So I'm like, oh, these are like new people that I'm going to see every single day. Like I don't know how to like
Navigate.
be myself, kind of thing. Like I kind of put like a barrier, right? But
Mm-hmm.
obviously once that we knew each other more and more, like I just became more myself. I'm like, you guys just is dealing with me whether they like it or not. And I was like, I'm whatever, done.
once it clicks, it clicks.
Yeah.
No, I see what you
Yeah.
like. I kind of relate to you guys. Like the more closer the relationship is going, the more I'm seeing a connection forming. The more I'm like, wait, like I get more
Yeah.
dismissive. Like no, it's not deep. It's not deep. Like
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
go through this. You know?
Yeah.
But you have all those bullet points for your dimensional.
Yeah, I got all those. Like wait,
I have one bullet point.
what is your bullet point? Like what's yours, and then I'll say mine.
I read like some of this too.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the Weaver, love and relationships are usually intertwined with other aspects of their lives. They're looking for someone who shares the same goals and values. They seek closeness and an interlaced life with their partner who plays an anchoring role in their life. I say that's pretty true. They have a mix of daring and responsible attitude towards love. They desire fun, stimulation, and need psychological and emotional closeness to feel fully satisfied in a relationship. This is reinforced by their desire to spend most of their time around their significant other, which can make it difficult for them to consider a romance in which both partners have independent lives outside of the relationship.
You're working on it.
And then the desires is a coalescing of their love life with all other. What does that even mean?
What does that mean?
Lesson.
Someone switch it up.
Coalescing.
Coalescing.
Of their love life with
Coalescence?
all other.
What is that? That's
Like
a big
you-
word.
Like you're
It
tying,
is. It
you're
is.
tying your love life to all else.
Coalesce meaning come together to form one whole.
Yeah, so like your love
Combine.
life is your life. You
Yeah, your
disappear.
yeah.
You
Your love life is your
disappear.
life.
He's aware, guys.
I'm not as intense as that. Like,
Yeah, I don't. You're not.
yeah.
Because that's the thing. Like sometimes I forget like you're in a relationship
kinda
because you're
opposite of
so
each other.
independent
What?
Yeah.
from
Like,
it.
based on those
That's why
descriptions.
you
Uh-huh.
literally not put into any of these categories.
Yeah, see, that's what like when I ask you guys when you hear these things, do you feel like it's malleable? Like when I hear dismissive, I've been dismissed. Like
Yeah,
I could
yeah,
see
yeah.
myself doing things like that. I could see myself being in a like I've seen myself in more like a very trusting, like just tuned to my emotion, communicating relationship. I've seen myself anxious. Like I could be any of these depending
Yeah.
on like I could see myself being any of these.
Uh-huh.
Like even like the fearful, like there's parts where it's like like strong fear of like rejection, like I'm very feeling that right now.
Yeah.
Not about like not even just about relationship,
No,
like
like-
rejection about like applying for school stuff, like
Yeah.
feeling like I'll never make it.
This is about attachment styles, Helen. This is about attachment styles.
What about it? No, I'm
This
kidding.
is about attachment styles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like feeling like I don't know, I'm worthy of love. I don't think I'm ever like that point being the anxious one.
Yeah, I didn't get that one. I don't.
The
Yeah.
unworthiness.
Yeah.
You guys have never felt that. I felt that for like
I
a lot
feel-
of my life.
I feel like I'm worthy of love. It's like okay, like I feel like there is a possibility that there's no one out there that will love me for all that I am. But I don't think, to me, in my brain, I register it as unworthy. I'm just like, damn, that sucks. That like I'm me, and like that. Like in my mind, there's a possibility that no one will ever see me
Mhm.
for who I am and love me for who I am. But
Yeah, I don't know how I interpret that either.
Unworthiness?
Unworthy of.
I just,
like,
I felt that a lot. Like
it's
in terms of.
do I not deserve to be loved type of thing. That's
Yeah.
how
I think
I
that's how I
interpret.
interpret that
That's how I interpret
do you
it.
feel
It's
like
like,
you
I-
thought that
I
you
don't
were?
feel-
I thought that for like a long time.
Oh, really?
I think it just because like I'm always like I need to be like the best version of myself. Like I need to be like healthy, like stable, like better at communication. Or I feel like I always see myself like yes, I'm worthy of love, but like in a different
Only in
period of my
only
time.
when you're like perfectly you.
Yeah, like in a better version of myself. And I have a visualization of what that is, but I'm still struggling with that, like coming to terms of like, I'm worthy of love, like in the present moment.
Yeah.
I don't think I fully grasped onto that yet.
Do you feel unworthy of other things then? Besides?
Unworthy, what do you mean by
I
unworthy?
don't
of-
know. I'm just like, because you said like you're unworthy, you feel unworthy of love because you want to be like this perfect person before. But then I'm just thinking like, does that make you feel unworthy of other things? Like if good things happen to you in life, do you feel unworthy then?
Or is it because you feel like you need to earn? Like you
Something
need
like
to,
that.
Yeah, I feel like I need to earn it.
this. Like if I get this internship, I earned it. I
Yeah,
worked
I
my
earned
ass
it,
off.
exactly.
But like love isn't something that you earn. So then you feel like you
Exactly.
need to earn it, but even though in reality it shouldn't be something you earn.
I think
people
so.
Love you,
That's why, like, for stuff like other things in life, like jobs or moving or doing this and that, like even like friends and whatnot, like I feel like I never got that because in a
You
way,
did work
like
for it.
I did work for it,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I see the time that I put in, I see the hours, I can like in a way calculate it, but like love I can't really calculate, so I struggle with that a lot. I'm like, what do you mean?
Man, what's your?
I don't know. I just it's like
Yeah.
hard. So like when you guys said you guys never related to like feeling unworthiness of love, I was like, oh shit, like I felt that like a lot, but
I feel like unworthy of life. I feel like everyone probably felt
that once.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like you're in the state where you're like, man, like yeah, like you feel. I know what you mean, like having to earn love is not a good mentality.
My copium
I
is
think, yeah.
is my my copium is if you don't love me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is true too.
Which is
like,
true,
You
which
know,
is
that's
true.
it is. I feel like regardless, at least like what I try to think as I'm navigating through this volatile moments of my life where like I feel like everything about me is changing. It's like at the core of it, you are who you are.
Yeah.
Despite the good and the bad times you go through in life, you are who you are, right? And when you love someone, when you get loved by someone, they should like love you for who you are at the core. And like moments of goodness, moments of badness, those things come and go, right?
Yeah,
Like those are
so
not
true.
like me in this mental state. I know it's not gonna be me for the rest of my life. So like like me feeling like I'm unworthy of love right now doesn't make sense to me because I'm like at the core of it I am who I am, like just because I'm like more emotional right now, just because I'm more unsure about things, I'm more like anxious, doesn't mean that that's who I am at the core, right? And I
Yeah.
think at the core, if you believe that you're like a great
person, then it's just the matter of work. Everybody can improve. So
That's
it's
true,
just
that's
a
true.
matter of like, you know, even you wanting to improve. Like that's a part of you.
Yeah, I
This
see what
growth
you mean.
mentality, right? This is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
part of you,
Yeah.
and like everything that's more core to you is something that like someone loves, and like that shouldn't be.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to earn it. Then you just
Yeah.
get loved by being who you are.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I think I'm so like, it's so weird. Like, you know, when we were talking about like secure and all these attachment styles, like I feel like me as a whole and then me in a relationship are like two different people. Like, because I feel like I'm so secure in who I am, and I love myself, and I'm like, I very much relate to the secure aspect of like my individual identity, because I hold that really strong to me. But then when I look at the relationship aspect, I'm a whole different person. Like, I'm super dismissive. I'm like, no, I don't know if confidence is the right word, but I'm like, whatever, this and that. But I definitely do think like, you know, how people see me, how my friends see me are not like, and how I approach situations are not the same how I approach relationships. Like a prime example is I'm super confrontational. Like if I feel uncomfortable, if someone does this or says something, like I will confront them right away. Like I don't care whatever it is. Like I'm really big on communication. But then when it comes to relationships, I'm so like I don't confront it at all. I don't even acknowledge the feelings that is behind it, you know? So I think it's so weird to see like a polar opposite in a way of how I am, and then in a relationship.
I feel like I'm opposite of that.
It's just the opposite of everyone.
No,
who's
like
completely
no,
secure.
No, as in no. I mean like secure more like relationship, friendships, but then in
By
my
yourself,
solo
yeah.
independent life, I'm more anxious and dismissive of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm anxious.
At least it's easy to figure out how you are. Like I'm like trying to find words to describe how I feel. I can. I'm like, at least you know. Some awareness.
I feel like we're very like strong in our like I don't like saying this, but categories. But like you're like literally like
I can be anxious.
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all attachments.
Jack of all attachments. Which honestly I feel like is the most realistic one, no?
I guess, yeah, like
Like,
a mix of everything.
A mix of everything.
Depends
'cause
on how
that's-
life goes, yeah.
Especially the stage of your life that you're in right
Yeah.
now. It is so realistic that you're gonna be a mix of everything.
Yeah. Because I feel like even in my personal life and relationship, I feel like similar. Like, it's less contrasting, right? Like, in my personal life, like, there are times where I feel very secure about who I am and, like, very confident, very, like, knowing, like, who I am is who I am. But then, like, I will have, like, moments of insecurity, like, anxiousness about, like, you know, life and stuff like that. And then, like, same thing about relationship. Like, I've been, like, in the weird, like, you know, everything comes at me. And it never feels like one of them is more different than the other, I guess.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Makes sense. And yeah, I think it's been almost like 2 hours since we've like talked. Any last words that you guys want to talk about? Say, kind of close it off.
Do you guys think there's?
Say it.
Do you think there's ideal pairings of attachment styles? It's like
I feel like
anxious,
ideally secure.
Oh, okay, yeah, but what about for the other ones who are not secure? Like
Anxious,
Anx-
maybe?
Because I saw this on TikTok, right?
Okay.
I saw this
Not
theory
anxious and
of an anxious and dismissive.
That's not...
Anxious and
I
wait.
feel like
So
that would be
like
the worst.
that'd be
Anxious and
really
dismissive
bad.
would be really bad, no?
That's
Yeah.
super
Yeah,
toxic.
I saw TikTok on this.
Yeah.
What did it say? Do you remember?
I saw the exact same TikTok. I know what you're talking
What it
about.
is.
But it's just
The
more
trauma
like,
bonding one.
Yeah, no, because it's like dismissive. Like they kind of like that. Like not like it's like you feed into each other's needs, but in a weird way where the anxious likes it. Like it's like a cold and like hot thing, right? And then anxious gets tied on. The dismissive like thinks that they're there, but like dismisses them, and then like I don't know. I know exactly what video you're talking about. I saw it too. But that's not a good pairing. Secure.
I think literally anything a lot like with secure, that other partner can improve on. Like, cause I see dismissive and secure. Like I can see like a secure person kind of coming in and like being like reassuring in that sense, so that allows the dismissive person to be more open to their surroundings. Like I can see that like if I were to ever get into a relationship, I feel like I can definitely see the secure and dismissive playing together.
But I also want to preface by saying that, like, like even with the secure and like anxious, that's how you feel independently, right? That doesn't always mean that in a relationship you're going to be the perfect person as well. Just
that's
because you
true.
feel secure about like yourself and how you're in a relationship doesn't always translate them being like the best. Like obviously having that foundation is good because you don't have to worry about like the other person being anxious, dismissive, or whatever. But it's not saying that like you go on a first date, ask them to do attachment style, they're secure and they're not a red flag. Like it's humans
You're
are complicated.
dismissive? anxious. That's so.
So it's like
ends
humans
there.
are complicated. So just because you're in one category doesn't
Yeah.
mean that you're perfect. Whereas if you're in another category, it doesn't mean that you're like, right?
Yeah.
Like anxious would make a good parent.
Yeah, like, they,
Yeah.
they just feed into each other, intertwined.
One person.
Wearing the socks together and
Yeah.
each other's skin.
When close isn't close enough.
Actually, we're going to the gym, right? Hold it.
Yeah,
Please.
But yeah, just to wrap it up, that's kind of it. Yeah, I enjoyed this talk. It was a fun time learning about everyone. Any last words? How do you feel coming out of this? Do you want to grow in your things, in your attachment styles? And Alden, how do you feel?
About the same. About the same.
Yeah.
He knows.
I know.
Yeah, it's honestly we're both like very self-aware, but like it's like
Okay,
getting to the
yeah,
next.
that's how I feel too.
It's the
Sometimes
next
I'm
step.
less self-aware,
It's the
but
next
you can't
step.
do
That's the hardest
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
Like, you know,
That's the
like, I
hardest
know
one.
I'm not a good person. I know I'm flawed,
Yeah,
but so
everyone's
what?
flawed,
Like, you know,
no.
everyone's flawed. Like, being aware is good, but like the idea of like going from awareness to action, to, like, you know, might seem easy for one person to see it for the other person, but
Yeah.
like, you know, and it's yourself, right? I'm like, you know, I can't just be like, Farron, why can't you just trust people? Why can't you just like open yourself up? Why can't you just love connections? Like,
Yeah.
me saying that to you doesn't change how you feel about like, you know, the actual thing, right?
That's me in life too, though, man. That's like you guys tell me like, cut this part out. People don't need to know how degenerate. It's harder than you think to actually motivate myself to do something like that.
I know.
I
Yeah,
know.
it's all valid, like, you know.
Yeah.
But then, like, at the same time, like, friends are there as a presence.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, I know I say that,
I'm
and I know you're
dead.
not. You know, you think that I say this, and I know that you, like, he's gonna be like, "Oh, Helen told me to leave you."
Yeah,
So it's like,
it's
you
okay.
know, as a friend, like, you know, we should still be like providing like some type of balance to each other,
Yeah.
rather than feeding into like, yeah, don't leave.
Yeah, like not sending each other down a spiral.
I think everything is gradual, and like it doesn't have to obviously go into the romantic relationship right away, but friendships and other dynamics in your life, like Helen, for example, like, you know, our relationship is very close, and for me that also, like, I don't know if scared is the right word, but I was like, holy shit, like, we're in a deep connected relationship, because, you know, like, even
Scared of me.
like even stuff like something happened, I'd be like, oh my, and you will never explain like what happened, right? For me to even have that person to like rely on was something that I was a bit scared of, but now that like we're there, it's definitely like, you know, I'm like, this is okay, like this is good, you know. So slowly start with like, you know, the relationships around you, start being open to it, open to change, and then slowly it'll like now I'm a like, okay, compared to like the person I was when you first met, like physical touch and like relying on you, like that has definitely changed a lot more, you know, compared to now, right? So you see the growth if you are open to stuff and, you know, let people in.
See, I'm not anxious, because if I'm anxious and you're dismissive, we're not a good pairing.
Exactly.
We're a good pairing, so I'm not anxious.
Yeah. Helen's an Avenger. She seems
for
good
friendship.
pairing.
That's for friendship.
we're
Yeah,
all
maybe
good
for
parents.
friendships.
But
maybe
for a
friendships.
relationship.
Friendships, you're really secure.
Yeah.
I'm anxious with my friends even too. Like,
Oh, really?
Like even like my guy friends, if they're like, if I don't hear from them for a little bit, I'm like, oh.
If Nick
Like, where
doesn't
they
text
go.
you.
Yeah. Like for
Yeah.
example, what's an example? Like one of my friends who has a girlfriend. Like obviously he's probably out with his girlfriend. Like normal. Oh, where are you guys? Like, what are you guys doing? Like I have to inquire about what they're doing as a couple. Like
Archie.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
yeah, like
It's okay.
You know what? But I like having people like you.
Yeah, me too. I like
care
it.
about me, even if you care about everyone the same. Like, you know, Olsen cares about what I'm doing.
No, there's pros and cons to
There's
everything.
pros to-
But yeah, this is a long ass episode. But yeah, no, thank you guys for tuning into today's video. It was the first time for you guys, and, you know, first time for Alden ever. So, you know, we were just getting into the realm of everything, and next time we're gonna come back even stronger because it's gonna be how to get games.
It's been what, 2 years, 3 years?
Almost, yeah. How to get game part 2. I'm really excited. You guys, any thought you get, write it down right now, write that
I
down.
have many thoughts.
Many thoughts.
You have many games,
smooth,
No,
very-
many questions.
questions.
Many
Same
questions.
questions as last video. Same
He's gonna bring the notepad.
Yeah.
Put that down, write that
Yeah,
down.
bring your glasses.
Oh yeah, glasses. And yeah, so thank you guys again, and see you guys in the next video. Bye. See ya. Nice.
That's crazy.
Yes. Good job, guys. That was great.
You don't make thumbnails anymore.
No, because I screenshot it from.
But like usually you add a little like text.
Oh yeah, that's true. I should.